Well, we've been talking about this all week. A Delta connection jet bound for White Plains landed at Kennedy Airport Saturday night. One of the plane's landing gears did not come down all the way, and it was a scary and bumpy ride for passengers. As you can see, one passenger on that plane, Jamie PFEIFER of Bridgewater, is talking with us on the phone right now about her experience. Good morning, Jamie.
Good morning.
Tell us about your experience. When did you start noticing that there were problems and something was wrong?
Well, we began to notice that we were circling, and at first I was curious, wasn't really concerned, but shortly after that, the pilot came on and he said we're going to have to make an emergency landing, and then proceeded to tell us about using flotation devices and oxygen masks and bracing ourselves, and that's when I thought, oh, we have a problem. We may land in water. And it began to compute, but he said this in a very matter-of-fact, calm voice, which I think really kept the panic down. And the flight attendants would walk down the aisle answering questions, and they did say at that point we were going to land on land.
I know some people can stay calm in situations like this. Other people freak out. How were people reacting around you, and what was going through your mind when this was going on over the intercom and you're looking out your window?
Well, the people actually, there weren't people, panicking, screaming or anything like that. There were conversation, quiet conversation, a little nervous laughter. I know some passengers said there were people behind them were crying, and I think people were praying, but it was all really very quiet and relatively quick. There was enough time that, I was thinking, I decided to distract myself by saying, how am I going to get my luggage out? And so then I suddenly decided I needed to get my cell phone out of my backpack, which was under the seat, and an antique bracelet that was my grandmother's. And these are things I don't want to lose. And so I wanted to really think about that rather than the potential disaster. I mean, it was scary, but the passengers were very calm, and I think that was a lot helped by the attitude and the work of the flight attendants and the pilot.
You were at a disadvantage when boarding and getting off the plane, and then when you were getting off, some people helped you. Will you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I am an amputee, and so I was very concerned about getting off the plane and not having my cane, which I need to walk. So when we stopped and suddenly realized we were all okay, but we had to get off immediately, several things happened. One was my seatmate, who was a wonderful woman, got up and stood so that she really allowed me to get out first. And then she told me this yesterday, actually, a young woman from behind quickly opened the overheads and got my cane, and also on the other side a cane for another woman, and said, we're not going to leave these women here. And they just all really stepped forward to help with that. As I was going out, I actually slipped going down the stairs, and there was a man on the ground who just grabbed me and said, don't worry, we've got you. And apparently the flight attendant said to one man as we were walking, she said, help that woman. And he put his arms around me and walked with me over to the side of the tarmac and said, I'm praying for you. He said, I've got you. I'm praying for you. I know you're praying for me. And then later the flight attendant came up to me and she said, we wouldn't have abandoned you. We wouldn't have left you there.
We're glad you're okay. Are you going to fly again?
Oh, sure.
Okay. Jamie, thank you so much for calling, and we really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Thanks.
Wow.
We're glad they're all okay.
They're all
Everyone was safe.
And there was a similar incident that happened in Milwaukee with the same kind of plane. Had to do the same kind of thing just a couple days later.
Frightening.
Wow, what is going on?
Yeah.
What's happening on the roads?
I'll tell you what's going on the roads right now, because we have our own problems here. Westbound side of Route 2, there's a crash. We'll actually start with the live camera and show you this accident. It's westbound side. There were a couple of vehicles. A few have left the scene already, but you see state police with